Welcome back, GTA and Toronto. You are watching #NoFilter with me, Ruchika Bindra. We are talking about technology, millennials, and fitness, and what is kind of the mix when you put them all together. I'm really excited to introduce an amazing health and fitness coach. I have personally had experience of working with him. He is phenomenal in his experience and I think his approach. So I'd like to introduce Ruk Siva. Welcome.
Thank you, Ruchika. Thank you.
I'm hoping if I say a few nice words, you'll go easy on the workout with me this weekend, so it's sort of a trick.
We'll see. We're going to stick to your plan, but all right, I'll take it into consideration.
So, Ruk, tell me a little bit about your journey into health and fitness. Why did you go into this industry? And sort of working with millennials, what is something that has really kind of been like, oh, that's something you didn't expect from us?
Okay, well, the way I started in my entire fitness journey was when I was younger. I was very, very petite and just very much more smaller than I am now, I would say. Like, just look like a broomstick with a bobblehead.
Clock arms?
Yeah, for sure. Clock arms, not even like twig arms,
Okay.
But basically, I did get picked on a lot, and it was like kind of like an ongoing joke with friends. And I did play sports, and even in sports, I just get like bullied around and all that stuff. So I started working out just to be better at sports, and then I really started focusing on, with the help of one of the teachers that I had at my high school, learning how to weightlift properly. And with that, I just kind of took it step by step. Every time I pushed myself more to try to get some muscle on me, and then slowly that everyday practice turned into like a cultural thing for me, just getting fit and making sure I was staying healthy. And I saw that like my influence was helping people in my family and my friends around me, and a couple other influences in my life, and I decided that the fitness industry was where I wanted to focus on.
Very cool. Yeah. So what have you had your background in
so my background is education-wise. I have a bachelor's in biomedical science, and I'm currently working on my master's in public health in nutrition. And I've been working in the fitness industry now for, I'd say, coming on to 3 years. And it's been a crazy journey. I've had a lot of transitions, and I'm happy to be here, honestly. So
and I think what's really cool is that not only are you in the industry so recently, so you can kind of see the changes that are happening all the time, because it's such a fast-paced industry, right? There's always something new, but you're also studying it in a larger scale, in a deeper scale, right? Everything from public health to biomedical. So you have this huge science background with you. So do you kind of find it conflicts what the fitness industry promotes from a marketing standpoint, or you think we're finally colliding in terms of with what science and education is?
To be honest, I feel like there's a little bit of both, because there's still bro science that they call it. Like, just things that people just say, oh, do this and you'll get jacked, or do this and you'll slim down, and all these things, and they're out there, and these are myths and just things people say that a lot of people just like kind of take it for truth, right? But there are like things that you guys mentioned earlier, where people are taking the initiative to know what they're putting in themselves, and using, I guess, the technology and the science that someone mentioned their friend was like putting in the calories for the food when they went to the restaurant, and all these things. That's really good, because now they're being aware of what's going in them, because I really do believe you are what you eat. So yeah.
Okay, very cool. So as somebody who teaches and kind of works with millennials, what is a really good thing you've noticed with us, and something that you think you always need to remind us to work on? And notice how I'm adding myself as a millennial, because I'm young forever.
Well, one thing I would say is a positive thing that I've seen in a lot of millennials is the fact that they're very like ambitious and very rambunctious towards just staying to their goals. Like they know where they want to go, and they come looking for that guidance and help, right? So they're open to it, just because from celebrities and other people you see on social media and stuff, they promote this type of guidance from a trainer or some type of health specialist. So they're more keen towards it. So that thing is, the respect I get, and just, the love I get from, friends and clients is great, for sure. One thing I find myself reminding people would be pretty much the realistic goals, right? Because people want to come in and getting an 8-pack is possible, but the amount of effort that goes towards that that's the difference, right? We want to make sure our expectations meet our goals, and just making sure we have the right correlation between that is one of the biggest struggles I find with a lot of millennials, because we live in a society that's immediate gratification, and your physique is not immediate gratification if you want to keep it long term.
Unfortunately, it's true. We don't see sort of the process to it, especially on social media, where we connect with people in the world. We see the last part, right? The highlight of their story. I always say that. And the highlight is always glamorous. So you see the 6-pack abs, and you're waking up with a coffee and you're like, damn it, like I'm not going to eat that donut. This person has that. But we don't see the process, as you said, that they took to it.
Yeah.
And my question to you, Ruk, that I think a lot of us were discussing a little bit before you came on is, are we understanding health for what it is inside us? And I remember when I met you, we had a discussion where you said sometimes it's not about what you're looking to achieve on the outside. A lot of it also matters on how your inside body is working. So why do simple things like a doctor say, okay, work out for your immune system, work out for your skin, work out for your health? How does me, in the most simplest way, pulling a dumbbell or jumping up and down, do these changes? What is happening on the inside in our body when we start looking at fitness from a health point of view?
Yeah, so for that question, basically, you have to take every advice that someone gives you with a grain of salt.
Right.
Because the thing is, they tell you work out for your immune system, but how much are you supposed to work out? What are you supposed to work out? All these things, right? Like for better health, immune system, whatever it is, energy, just your vitality and overall, just working out enough to pretty much keep a good cardiovascular system would help, right? When you do weight training and things like that, it helps bone density increase and other things in the body just get stronger in a sense, so that posture increases. When you have better posture psychologically, your body has a better, healthier approach when just with everyday dealings, just by sitting, when you walk in, your confidence, all just the positive energy helps you feel healthier, and obviously that would correlate with overall better health too. So it's a lot of mind games too, I would say, because if you're just down and out and just feeling oh, it's such a crappy day, that's what's going to happen. Your body's just going to start shriveling down like this, and posture and health in general is just going to get like that. You're going to get sick more, all these other things I've seen in people. So I always tell people we work out to obviously feel better, look better, but if you really believe it, you're going to practice it with everyday routines.
And I think that's a really good thing for millennials to remember. We go about everything in a rush, and then we hit the gym and we just want to see changes. We just want to have everything go, go, go. We just want to have everything fast, but we're not stopping to look at how's our mental state, right? Where are we looking at our day? What's our goals at? What's our, what are we doing outside of the gym? Because I know the bodies are always made outside of the gym as much as they're made inside. And on the other side of the break, we are going to talk about that. We're going to ask him a little bit about this new obsession that millennials have been hashtagging in 2016, which is called antioxidants. So really quickly, Cass, before we go to break, what is our tweet that we're going to look at next on the other side of the break?
Okay, so now that we have our guest on the show, we have a tweet from Lindsay and a bunch of other of our viewers, and it says, which gadget is the best for accountability and motivation to stay fit and healthy?
Oh my God. Okay. I have the Fitbit, so I'm a bad person to ask because I'm a dependent person on technology. Do any of you use any app? Just a quick yes or no. No?
The notes.
Not dependent on it, but have.
No. All right. On the other side of the break, we are going to talk to Rook a little bit more about technology, apps, and this hashtag world, antioxidants. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back to Hashtag No Filter, everybody. Thank you so much for your tweets. Keep tweeting us. You can also follow us on Instagram and Facebook at No Filter Rogers. So, Rook, we had a great tweet that Cass asked us before. Any technology that you think is something that millennials should use in their fitness, health, life
That's a
plan?
good question. So I would say for the person who asked, it's whatever is going to work best for you, because there's so many different things out there, from the Nike app to the Fitbit correlations to MyFitnessPal, all these different things out there. So honestly, whatever feels comfortable for you is what I would highly suggest. And there's some people who like using technology. Some people I know, they actually write out their calories. They have a notebook and they'll write out their meals and then calculate the calories later. So whatever system works for you would be the best one. I'm not going to say this has to work for you, because not everyone's going to fit in that niche, right? Everyone has things that they like, just like how there's an Android, iPhone preference. It's this app or that app, or however you want to use it, because some apps people use it to its full extent. Some people just use certain apps to just maybe count calories and stuff. So just really depends on the person.
Really good point. And do you find that as somebody in the industry training people, they almost come in acting like they know everything? Like, hey, I saw this on social media, I saw this workout plan, or I read about this health thing, this new supplement that's going to help me, or, I'm on this new detox, so I'm having lemon water and, fruits in my water. Do you feel like now we're at a generation where we come to teachers or people guiding us with already a preset notion versus, maybe in our parents' generation, because they didn't have so much of an exposure to places around them, they'd come in almost more inquisitive to ask. Do you feel that change is there?
I do feel that I have come across a lot of people who
Okay.
just come to me and they try and teach me
Okay.
stuff about health and fitness, which, you know, I'm always just accepting of like new knowledge, but
Right.
if it's something just out of the blue and makes complete no sense at all,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, listen, like we gotta sit down and talk about this.
So like when I tell you I want to lose 20 pounds in 3 days,
I'm like,
that
you know,
kind
that's
of
not gonna be
situation.
healthy.
Okay.
That's not gonna be healthy at all.
but is it doable? No, I'm kidding.
I mean, everything's doable, but I'm not gonna recommend it. I don't sign off on
Okay,
it, just
okay.
so everyone else knows.
Okay. Basically, guys, that's why I'm still not 30 pounds thinner.
But you're getting there.
We're getting there. Okay, continue.
No, I think I'm guilty of the same thing. I would have probably came in and said, I eat plenty of calories. I eat 5 hash browns for breakfast, and then I found out a burger doesn't qualify for a salad. So, you know, slowly as I'm learning like what the makeup of foods are, and sometimes for me, like the biggest app that I'd use is probably something that connects me to someone like a trainer, or, you know, like someone who knows more than I do, to be able to say, no, you need your vegetables, you need protein, you need carbs, you know, like different reasons to why I need to eat certain
We
things.
can just have your mom call you if you like.
Or that,
She
yeah.
can call you as well until you reach the gym.
Yeah, I think what you said before about how, you know, getting fit isn't something immediate, it takes time, is interesting how we're linking technology with something that's so immediate, with something that isn't immediate. It's like you're putting two opposites together and they somehow work with each other. I think that's really interesting.
Well, for that, I would say you're putting something immediate to help you in that process, right? It's almost like an aid, because not everyone's going to have a trainer, not everyone's going to
Yes.
have a nutritionist, and all these other, you know, people who can help on this journey. So using some type of app would definitely help guide you in that path. But, you know, like it just depends on how you use it, to be honest.
But Brooke, it's so hard as I talk to more and more millennials, they always say there's too much out there. You know, they're like, I go see my trainer, I work out, I'm healthy, but in terms of even my nutrition, you know, they'll pick up books or they'll read online every time there's something new. You know, things like WebMD or different books or naturopath, you know, books, they're always showing you new ways to play with your body. So as a millennial, how do you know? Like, how do you know where you should go, what's right, what's wrong? Because we don't have these science backgrounds, right? Like someone like you can look at a document, look at the scholarly work, see where it's at in the science industry as well. Millennials, we don't have that time. So if we read that cayenne pepper is the next herb to put in your water to lose weight, we're going to go to it. So what could you recommend to a lot of our millennials in GTA that kind of are guilty of this?
Well, I definitely recommend to, you know, double, triple check your sources, just like how if you write an essay for school,
Yes.
you know, your teacher or professor is going to make sure your source is credible. It's not
Yes.
like just some random site that has a blog on it, right? Because now we live in a whole like digital era where, you know, anyone can go and just write a blog and be like, this grass, eat grass from your lawn and it'll help you lose weight. Like, and you know, sometimes people will just read this and actually believe it, right? There's no actual like science or any kind of credibility behind it. So it's really like looking at what you're reading, like understanding, you know, if you get advice from someone, like, is this person credible to say it? Do they know what they're talking about? And all these things, and just actually double check, do your research, right? Do your homework, do your Googles.
Do you
Not
From one
Wikipedia.
millennial to another, do your Googles. Cass, I know we have a tweet really quick if you want to tell us what people are asking.
Okay, so I asked a similar question to the panelists, but now that we have our expert on the show, I wanted to ask, Nathan said, is technology really helping us get in shape, or do you think it's just a fad that will wear off?
Ooh, we leave this to the master.
I honestly believe that technology is helping us right now,
Okay.
definitely helping us a lot. But I don't think that it's going to be a fad that wears out, because we are always depending on technology.
Yeah.
So technology is always going to be there to guide us, and as we move on every day, there's something more and more digital. You know, we're getting self-driving cars now,
Yep.
all these things. So technology is never going to be a fad, but it's going to help us in the right direction.
I mean,
for
Rook, who knows? In 20 years, you might be a digital transported to me wherever I am in the world to work out. You could still train me digitally.
Yeah, I mean, hologram life.
Hologram life. It's never ending. Have you guys ever been guilty of trying any of these things? You know, people talk about cayenne pepper or detox fruits, and then they talk about zinc for healthy. Like, there's all these extreme things, right, that are like massively promoted for a certain period of time in the media. Have you guys been guilty of it or heard your friends ever mention it?
I've been guilty for it, not with maybe like what I put in my body
Yeah.
or what I do, but in terms of like makeup.
Okay.
Since like, I don't know, I saw online that if you know, this whole thing with like baking under your eyes, like if you put like actual baking powder instead of the translucent powder, it would work. And
Let's
then
not do that.
I
'cause
told
it's
my
gonna
mom,
sting.
and then she's like, no, that's actually gonna burn your
Yeah,
face
that's
off.
finishing.
Like,
Let's
don't
not
do
do
that.
that.
So like things like that.
Very
It might like there's stuff that isn't true, but people that might not know. Like I didn't do it, but they may actually think like, yeah, why not? We'll put like baking powder on your face.
I think
or,
it
like,
comes down to, as you both said, instant gratification. We want it now, right? I want it immediately, I want it now, but then at the same time, we're in this paradox of being healthy. So baking soda is, there's this whole thing, you find everything in your kitchen and use it.
Yeah.
So if I can use something from my kitchen, it must be fine and it must be safe.
That's
So I'm going to
scary.
consume it. So it's almost, we're just, a really interesting group of people as millennials because of what we push and pull and take. Cora, have you been guilty?
I've done like the boring little like fruit in the water, but just like adding to what you were saying, that's so scary that we're just so naive and curious and willing to try anything.
Well, I think
It's
men do
dangerous.
that too, right? In terms of supplements and whey proteins and bulking up, and every time it's a new thing that's going to help them get jacked, as millennials use. And do you almost find yourself being more of a health coach by warning your sort of warning your patients to be careful? So on the other side of the break, we're going to ask Rook about his experience with this for the male generation, and we're going to finally divulge into the world of antioxidants. Stay tuned, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for watching this week's episode of #NoFilter. We are talking with health and wellness coach Brooke. So I'm going to start by asking you, millennials, what does that mean to you?
That's a good question. Millennials, I just feel like it's just a name that's coined to the younger generation right now. Everyone who's in the digital era, everyone who thinks like, the smartphone is the most basic piece of technology kind of thing.
Okay. And as the year is coming to an end, as I told you, things like technology, Fitbits, all these sort of health apps are one of the most downloaded and most used by our group. Another of the most popular hashtags that the year is closing on for health, fitness in the generation of millennials is antioxidants. Everything is antioxidants. What does that mean?
Antioxidants, the way I can best describe it is your body uses it from what you put into it
Okay.
as the first line of defense. So if you look at when you cut an apple,
Yep.
if you leave it cut and just open, like it starts like, turning discoloration and all that stuff
Yeah.
happens because there's the antioxidants that are in the apple now, it's slowly fading away. And it's the same thing that happens in our body, right? So like antioxidants are there to preserve us, to keep us well and healthy. And if you don't have enough, then what's happening to the apple is actually happening to you every day.
And so is this something that we're constantly refueling? Is it sort of like cells in our body that we constantly need to work on keeping it optimal?
Yeah, so you get
Okay.
antioxidants from like fresh produce, anything that's, like greens, like the reds, the yellows, like all these different fruits and vegetables. And you can get it from other foods as well, but I always focus on the greens because fresh produce is just a must.
So why do they say antioxidants is for your skin? I always thought it was something that was for my immune system because of the way it's a defense line. How does it affect your skin? Every time you look at millennials, beauty, health, everything is hashtagged with antioxidants. So I'm very curious what it could do to your skin.
So what I would say to that is it's used like all throughout your body,
Okay.
like not only internal but external as well. So if you look at someone who's in the sun a lot and they
Yeah.
get sunburned,
Yeah.
that's because, obviously their UV radiation affected the skin cells, but why didn't it happen sooner? It's because you had a layer of protection over the skin cells that actually depleted over time.
Okay. Really quick, Cass, do we have a tweet?
Okay, so we have a tweet and it says, I think we need to look at health from the inside out and start younger. So our expert, can you tell us what's a good age to start working out?
Since you're born. No, I'm kidding. There's kid gyms. No, but I'm joking.
I would say you want to stay active as soon as you can, right? I'm not saying, pick up weights and just get jacked when you're 5 years old, but I'm saying, play sports, to do anything to just stay active. Like,
Keep your body going.
yeah, keep your body going because, we're creatures that are meant to move,
Okay.
so we need to move and utilize that. We're not just meant to just sit down all day.
Perfect. Thank you so much for all your tweets. Keep them coming. We will try to look at them all by the end of the show. So, Rook, one of the coolest technologies that I also came upon my millennial year-end research was this scanner. And it was called the S3 scanner by Nu Skin. And I was lucky enough that this is something you have worked with, so you know about it. Can you tell me a little bit about this? Because I think as a millennial, this is one of the coolest technologies. And if it's all about antioxidants, I'm on it. So tell me about it.
Yeah, so the best way I can say it is like, I just love this thing because it was an eye-opener for me when I first got exposed to it. It gives you a skin carotenoid antioxidant level reading within 30 seconds.
Okay, wow.
So it'll actually tell you if like what you're eating and what you're using is actually being absorbed by your body and actually being used. So it's a very powerful tool, I would say.
Oh my God. And so what do I have to do? Do I have to like give you my blood test?
No, no,
Because I'm
no.
not into blood. I'm not about injections.
No, all you got to
Okay.
do, like, I could feel free, I could scan you today.
Yes, we have to on the next segment. I want to try it. Okay.
So all you got to do is take your hand and just put it on in 30 seconds. We'll get a reading for you.
And based on that reading, you'll be able to kind of, well, the patient will be able to kind of see where they're at.
Yeah, so we can
Okay.
address, where you are. So
Okay.
we would say, like, everyone's first scan, we call it like a baseline. So we know where you're at, and we just want to focus on getting your score higher, because the higher it is, it's more, antioxidant levels, but also will correlate to a better healthy lifestyle too.
So I guess, Rook, this has nothing to really do with how big you are or how jacked you are for a guy or how thin or fat you are for like a girl. Is it more about what's actually happening inside your body?
Oh, for sure. It
Okay.
doesn't matter what type of body type you have. This will tell you what the inside is doing for
And
you.
it gives you a good kind of understanding, right?
Oh, for
because
sure.
if our first line of defense is not where it needs to be, that, as you said, affects all aspects, of our body. So on the screen right now, you guys can see what the scanner looks like. So what is the little iPad with it?
So the iPad is its interface. So
Okay.
as you can see that it says S3, so it's the third generation of its kind. So the first generation that was made, you connected it to a big machine with a computer. Second generation, you can connect to a laptop. Technology makes it so we can get more innovative. So third generation, Bluetooth connection to an iPad.
Okay, and so have you found that millennials are really receptive to this, or they're like, oh my God, this is how bad my health is, like they run away from it? And how do you use it as a professional in terms of health and wellness?
Yeah, so no, I find it really cool. Like, I got attracted to it just because it was like, in my face. Like, I can actually see what I was eating, for the last month, like what my body was going through, like the number correlation to how I was feeling. So that was really cool for me to see. And, people love it. Like, people from, who are like senior citizens now to young kids growing up right now, they all love it because it's really cool, right? It's very innovative, brand new. So it's
And
something
where
they
did
like to look
this
at.
concept come out from?
So this concept came from the company Pharmanex, who I work with a partnership level. But what they did was the University of Utah actually first developed it in the same labs as the first artificial heart was made.
Wow.
And they made it to test beta carotene levels in the eye to see
Yep.
if beta carotene and antioxidant levels actually correlate with good eyesight. And basically they by accident found out that they can read skin tissue as well. So printed out some articles. News spread. The company loved it, bought the rights for it, and now the company uses it as a tool, and now I use it as a tool as well for my own clients and all.
Very cool. So you can kind of, if you're someone starting off in the new year, you can kind of use this as part of your health, your fitness, just your overall well-being,
Yeah,
right?
so all my clients get scanned just to make sure on a monthly basis where they're going.
Okay, perfect. On the other side of the break, I'm going to get scanned on live TV all across Toronto and GTA. So let's see how good and bad it is. And we'll bring Rook on later on in the season to see if my improvements are working. So see you all on the other side of the break, everybody. Keep watching #NoFilter. Welcome back, everybody. We are nearing almost the end of our episode. We have so many questions for you. So really quick, a lot of the panelists had a few questions to ask. Before we get into my life scan report, Nitka, go ahead.
Yeah, so we were talking about antioxidants and all that good stuff for your skin, outside and inside. Is it true that whatever fruit or vegetable that you're like eating, if the color is a lot more vibrant, that it has more antioxidants, like berries? They say that because of the color, like you can tell that it has a lot of antioxidants.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. But also keep in mind, depending on the fruit's its traits, you don't want to like count out, say like blueberries. Blueberries have antioxidants in them. Just because they're a darker blue color doesn't, just because they're not so vibrant doesn't mean you have to count them out, right? So just given the property of the fruit, you know, you can tell like how the color is, and all. So yeah.
And Rook, does it change? I know a lot of people say use the food guide. So is that something generic so everyone can get their regular amount of fruits and vegetables, or does it have to be increased for certain people if they're at different points of their health and fitness cycle?
Yeah, no, I know. I have a couple colleagues who find the whole like the
Guide.
food guide
Yeah.
and all that just very controversial. But
Yeah.
what I would say is get as much as you can in the
Okay.
day. Obviously, you want to get your proteins and your carbohydrates and your vegetables, like fruits and vegetables and all. As long as you can proportion it well, it should be fine. So
Jokes
That's it.
aside, Cora and I were making this conversation earlier before it went on air. Is there ever too much of fruits and vegetables we're eating? Can someone be eating too much vegetables? I know that's crazy to say, but can we be eating too many vegetables? Like that's bad at a level that it's bad for you?
honestly, I haven't come across that, so I don't know how to answer
I
that.
don't know
But
who can do that.
what I would say is when you do eat stuff like fruits and vegetables, especially vegetables that are very nutrient dense,
Yeah.
your body would feel fuller with less of it.
Got
That's
it.
why you can eat a lot of fast food and not feel so full, because the nutrition density is very low, as opposed to, you know, a very good home cooked meal or
Yep.
something with like fresh produce and all that, which would like just a little bit would fill you up.
You know,
Very cool.
The way that I always thought of it was, you know, how fruits have natural sugars. So I was like, well, if I have a lot of fruit, like, for example, if I have like 10 oranges a day, well, isn't that like it's good for me? But then my sugar levels will go like extremely high, and that's not good for me, I guess.
I guess balance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to balance it, and you don't want to just stick to one food group the entire day. Like
Yeah.
if you're gonna have too many vegetables, if you're only eating vegetables the whole day, then you're missing out on, you know, other
Other
important
nutrients.
properties of the food diet.
Rook, not per se for me, but for some other people that might be a little bit more averse from vegetables. If I take like a fruit smoothie, take frozen broccoli or something and blend it into it, does that lose any nutrients, or is that still keeping what I need from that smoothie?
Once you make it, especially a fresh, like a fruit smoothie and stuff like that, once you make it, I would say drink it as soon as you can, because when you leave it out, that's when it starts going bad and all.
All right, so we are running out of time. We need to show off this. So between 2016 coming to an end, for millennials downloading the most technology apps, one that we have come across that I think is super cool, that is also amongst one of the most hashtagged words of this year, is antioxidants. So as you said, this will help measure mine. Let's hope it's not totally really bad. So let's get my scan done.
Okay, so an optimal score
Just
is...
remember it's the holidays, so I've been like, you know, eating a little bit bad. I just want to say that.
It's all good. So an optimal score is 50,000 or more. Okay?
50,000 or more. Okay.
Okay, so show me your right hand. This portion right here is
Okay.
going to go over the circle, and you're just going to hold.
Okay.
And go ahead. So hold it tight. There we go. So how is your eating? You know, this is where I got to get the good stuff out.
Okay, so can I take my hand off?
No. So
Okay.
keep holding.
So my
I'll let
eating
you know.
was really good for 2 months, but then the last 3 weeks I took a break. Holidays are here break,
Mm-hmm.
but that's not okay. I know that. I have a huge sugar addiction. My guilty pleasure is sugar, like the 3 p.m. cravings. That's me. But I think my water has definitely gone up more than it's ever been before. My habit of working out has too. So let's see how bad it is.
Okay. So your score right now, it's reading 41,000. So you're in that, you know,
That's
that
not
that
bad.
buffer range right now. So it's better than you first expected.
Honestly, it is. I thought I was going to be in the 29s. I'm being very honest. 41 is not bad.
Yeah. So the beauty behind this, especially with the technology, is now after your score, it gives
Hopefully we
you
can get this screen for our viewers to see that.
yeah, it gives you a little diagnostic, so you can tell exactly what the score means. So
Very cool. So what is the score telling us,
So I'm
Rob?
just going to tilt this so I
Yes.
could read it for you. So for dietary habits, it's saying, you know, moderate intake of fruits and vegetables,
Yes.
which you were mentioning.
Yep.
Supplementation, usually people with the score have supplementation of one form or another.
Yeah, I do.
With lifestyle, there's moderate stress,
Yep.
moderate sun exposure,
Yep.
moderate pollution exposure, all these other things. And also with air travel.
Yes.
Air travel, like flying in that plane, will actually suck you of your antioxidants as well.
Okay.
And body composition, we got a normal or high BMI with an average carotenoid absorption into the body. So it's a good place to start, and we're just going to focus on getting you higher
Right.
up.
So for people that actually want to check this out, they can come see you. Your information is on our website, and they can also go on the website of Nu Skin itself to find out more. So We will have Rook back on later on the show, probably in the spring, to see if my level has changed. So we gotta get working hard
gotta
with
get
me.
cracking
All
for
right.
sure.
Thank you, Toronto and GTA, for watching this week's episode of #NoFilter. Have a wonderful holiday, and I will see you back in the new year.